Guys, welcome to the Ike Gauntlet World's Toughest Towing Test.
And welcome to the 2018 Gold Hitch Awards.
And what we have is two 2018 GM full-size SUVs, the Sexy Beast Denali XL long version, and the Tahoe RST, the new version out this year. Both are 10-speed, both are 6.2 V8s, and 22-inch wheels.
Which one will be better?
Stay tuned.
Ike Gauntlet is the world's toughest towing test. You know, 8 miles, we're going to over 11,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, starting from 8,000 feet.
Yeah, and it's 7% grade, so this is not your regular highway.
No, and even the EcoBoosts, which do really well up here, they still have to fight to get up this hill because even with the turbocharged engine, it's still difficult to maintain horsepower.
Well, that's what we need on this. We need that big hood scoop on the diesel GMs. I want a hood scoop.
To suck as much air as
suck
possible.
all the air we can find in that puppy.
Let's put a snorkel on this.
Yes.
Both of these vehicles have identical engines. They both are 6.2-liter V8s. They have cylinder deactivation for better economy, and both of them put out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. And they're both hooked up to 10-speed automatic transmissions. These vehicles are very similar, but there is one minor difference. This gets 17 miles per gallon combined, and the GMC, 16 miles per gallon combined.
Our test trailer we're using today is the one we get from our partners at CM. This is the Cargo Mate. That means it's an enclosed trailer. It is 20 feet long and 8 feet wide. And at 8 feet wide is why we're using these special mirrors, because it makes it a little tricky. And it's great for wind resistance and testing. Now we're running at 10% tongue weight. We have our weight distributing hitch from Gen Y. This has 7,000 pounds of water totes total weight of the trailer.
All right, so we've got to be at 50, right, on the way out?
Yeah, we're coming out of the tunnel. We're going to fly out at 50.
So guys, the big question is here, how will the 10-speed behave on the way down?
We're going to have too much traffic and I can't. I guess I have to move.
I cannot wait. I'm on pins and needles.
Pins and needles.
Yes.
Okay, here's the first brake application.
First brake. Are we going to see a downshift?
I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. 50, I'm letting off, no downshift, but it dropped RPMs down to about 1,300.
So remember how in the Ford, the 10-speed wasn't quite grade shifting enough?
No, and so far this hasn't grade shifted at all, but at some point, hopefully it does. We are in tow haul mode. We do have active grade shifting. And second brake application.
And the point here is that we're trying to stay in our sweet spot, which is between 50 and 60 miles per hour. We don't want to jump any lower than that because, frankly speaking, people would have to go around us. And
yeah, here's number 3. Well, that's, this is the third brake application. That is the safety factor because most people are driving 50 to 60, and so we want grade shifting to work at that range where we're using it, because a lot of manufacturers' vehicles don't kick in until you're going like 40. Well, at that point, your brakes will stop you. You don't have to do the transmission, but at the speeds we're looking at, I think it's a really good speed for testing it. Okay, there was a grade shift right there.
Whoa, finally?
Yeah.
The way the GM grade shifting works, it's when you turn the key, when you start the truck, it's on by default. You could shut it off if you want.
Okay, I'm about ready to brake again. Here we go, braking again.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was over 3,000 RPM there. I would have thought it would have held me a little better. There we go, grade shifted again.
So 11 brakes, guys.
And we're holding now. We're staying.
We're
50.
done. Yeah.
now it's working, right?
Yeah. Now because we're flat.
Right.
Not quite flat.
All right. So 11 brake applications. Okay. Well, let's go up.
As usual on these test runs with these trucks, we use our Gen Y adjustable hitch. This also has the weight distributing on it with the spring arms and sway control. Now today's tip brought to you by our friends at CM and Big Tex. This has air ride on this Denali, and so does the Tahoe. So what you got to know when you're using something with a good air ride system that brings you back to level, because that's what the spring arms on the weight distributing hitch does. It levels the truck out. Since the air ride brings it back up, you want to make sure you put a little less pressure on the spring arms. You may want to adjust your brackets on the trailer tongue so you're not putting as much pressure, because it's already up in the air, and so it should take less spring arm to level you out.
Now!
Away we go.
Holy cow, guys.
Let's get this up to speed.
Boy, now that sounds good.
Yeah, that's a good sounding exhaust. Wait till you hear the Chevy.
Woo! So that's 60?
Sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty fast.
That was really quick.
And we are running about 2,600 RPMs. We're
Not breaking a sweat?
No.
Seems all right
It's
so
really
far.
hard to keep these steady. Well, we're passing
Look,
people.
they were still there.
Let me know when you're all wide open again.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll
probably
get
after
some
this.
decibels.
Yeah, I want to test the sound, so we'll be... Actually, this is a fairly quiet vehicle, but I want to...
Yeah.
Oh, are you wide open?
I am right open. I'm at 58 miles an hour. I'm wide
Okay.
open throttle 59. You better hurry.
That went out to about 70.9.
Well, that's
which
higher
is-
than I thought it would be.
Which is anything under like 72 is a quiet truck. When we do our Ike Gauntlet runs, we usually get the measuring tape out and we measure how much the truck squats. But in this case, we don't need to do that because the air shocks in the rear level you out. So it's a nice level ride, exactly what we want. When you put it in tow haul mode, it gives you the automatically gives you the temperature gauge for the transmission.
Oh, that's automatic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It comes on and it shows you the temp, and we're at about, what, 200 degrees, which is just a fine temperature for transmission.
Yeah, it is. And it's outside temperature's what, 40?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
41 degrees right now.
Yeah, so that's typical December up here. We're running about 4,500 RPM at 60 miles an hour.
All right, we're getting up there now, guys. So once again, tell me when to stop.
Yeah, the 8-minute is a perfect run, basically.
I think we're going to be pretty close to that.
Yeah, we might be perfect. And... stop!
8 minutes.
4.4 miles per gallon.
So that was a near perfect run. You know, within a couple of seconds of 8 minutes, that's all we can ask for, right?
Yeah.
And that means we went the speed limit all the way up. And 4.4, anything over 4 mpg, according to the computer on this run, is impressive.
Both of these vehicles have 22-inch wheels. Both of these vehicles have Bridgestone Dueler HT tires. So they're very similar. However, the styling is very different, and I personally prefer the GMC's wheels over the Chevrolet's wheels. Now, with that being said, for those of you who are really into being seen for bling, the Chevrolet has dealer-installed 6-piston Brembo brakes up front, and you can clearly see them.
While we did have trouble hooking up the chains to the heavy-duty GM truck, it's not the case here. Chain hookup is very simple, very accessible, but the 7-pin connector is a little bit recessed, so you gotta play with it just a little bit, and boom. We got 3 brake applications so far. We're what, almost halfway down?
Yeah.
Not even?
Not quite. And I'm waiting for that first grade shift. That's how the other truck was too. It took to about the 3rd brake application, but here we go. I'm braking again from 60 to 50.
So this is number 4.
Number 4.
Okay.
I'm wondering, when is it going to help us in downshift?
I don't know. Same RPM, about 1,500. That's where it's staying. That's weird. We need it to be, 3,000 RPMs.
Couple numbers real quick on this truck. The big difference between this one and the GMC, or a regular Suburban actually. Wheelbase is 14 inches shorter on this vehicle, but the overall length is 20 and a half inches shorter.
That's a big difference.
That is a big
It
difference,
is.
and you're
It
feeling
is.
it right now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's handled. We've got the weight distributing set at the same exact way. There's another brake application. We have the weight distributing bars set at the same way, so we got the same kind of sway control. And this one, because of that shorter wheelbase, is moving a little more. And of course, we've had wind all day today.
Yeah, we have. But nonetheless, we are getting a little bit of that as well. So between the fact it's a little squirrely by comparison.
So we may conclude that a longer wheelbase helps trailer control.
Exactly.
The biggest difference between the Yukon XL, which is basically also the Chevrolet Suburban, and the Tahoe, is the wheelbase and the cargo space. And you could fold these seats with a push of a button. But just look at this. This is the Denali. And there's an insane amount of space. There's 20.5 more inches of space in the XL version. And I'm 6'2", and I can lay down, nicely, and I have a TV up here too. Okay, funny thing in the Tahoe RST, first of all, the load floor is a little bit higher, but you do have a bigger storage box underneath. But look at this, a lot less rear cargo volume, about 15.3 cubic feet. You still have the buttons to fold the seats, but not quite enough space, obviously, but I can still lay down, and I think the gate will close.
60.
Oh, it says it's active.
Okay, it's
It's
active.
helping you now.
Maybe now it will kick in. Yep, there it downshifted once. Well, now our RPMs are what, 2,300 RPMs, so that's a little better control, and I can tell it.
Yeah, look, it's holding
yeah.
in the mid-50s.
Yeah. You guys locking his brakes up
Yep,
ahead of us.
there's a guy he's smoking big time.
Yeah, there's a semi on, looks like smoke coming out of his brakes.
This is a tough hill on trucks.
So guys, I counted 9 brake applications, which is a surprise for me because it's 2 less than in the Yukon XL.
That's right.
But that may have something to do with the weight of the vehicle.
Yeah.
It may.
Yes.
I can't figure out otherwise because we were doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same speeds.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how it goes up the mountain. Guys, if you want to support us, we have a lot of new cool t-shirt designs. Mr. Truck, can you show them?
You ready?
What is this?
Drum roll. Oh, Dodgezilla rules.
We have Dodgezilla, we have Power Wagon Don't Care, we have Big Green, and we have regular TFL shirts and hoodies. Click on the link below to go to Teespring store, and you can pick one up.
Like Hulk Hogan has one of these.
Go!
Boy, listen to that purr.
Whoa!
That engine is awesome. There's some roar going on there.
See, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Sounds
60.
good.
We're to 60 already. You know, and that's the weird thing about these newer trucks. They got so much power. It used to be we was always wide open throttle with the trailer. Now it can't be.
Well, you know how Chevrolet has a Chevy Performance division?
Yeah.
How you could buy aftermarket parts, like we got the ZZ6 crate motor for Big Green, right?
Uh-huh.
I wonder, they should start offering like more supercharger kits or something, to really kind of add a lot of balls to their performance trucks.
Well, yeah, Ram does that now with exhaust and intake.
But if you're going to compete against the Durango SRT, right, that has 475 horsepower, you need to do something. You need to either supercharge or get some more power.
Now I'm wide open throttle, trying to hold 60, but I got up over 4,000 RPM.
By the way, you and I, Nathan, ran the Durango SRT up here.
That's right.
With the exact same trailer. We went up the mountain in exactly 8 minutes.
Yep.
And MPG, according to the computer, was 4.7.
Which is actually impressive.
Impressive for a big V8.
Oh, it is. That's a lot of power for that kind of...
I have a feeling we're going to get close to that same MPG with this vehicle.
It's, again, easy to go 60 if I can hold it there. And actually, it's really weird. That other longer wheelbase Denali was harder to keep at that speed. This one here is easier to keep at 60. I don't know if it's the exhaust or what it is, but this one is more controllable for speed-wise. I would say it's more controllable on the road.
By the way, guys, if you're wondering the differences on the interior, these trucks are configured very similarly.
Yeah.
But, of course, the Denali has special stitching on the seats, and it also has this new dull wood finish. It's actually ash, and they talked to me about it when I was at the event. And this Tahoe has kind of a glossy finish on their wood.
Yeah, I have the GMC looks better.
Both of these trucks have the same mirror. You can fold them with the push of a button, but they're a little bit too small for really confident towing. That's why we're using mirror extensions. Of course, both of these trucks also have blind spot monitoring systems, which sometimes don't work perfectly when you have a big trailer behind you.
Do you have the your probe, your monitor sound?
Oh yeah, my probe. Hold on, guys.
This is the section where I can go wide open throttle. Let me see. I'm right at 60.
That's strange. That was at 69 decibels versus 70 in the other one, so it was similar in sound level at that throttle position.
How can this be quieter than the other one? That's just weird.
Well, 1 decibel is just minuscule difference.
Yeah, but it's going the wrong way. You'd think it'd be 1 decibel higher, not lower.
You have room?
Is someone going to tell me when to stop?
I will. Stop now.
There we go. 7:54.
Okay, we stopped a few seconds early because we had traffic at the very last moment.
I have 4.3 in miles per gallon.
4.3.
Because it is a little lighter, that would make sense. Well, that does make sense. Went the wrong way.
Yeah. But you were also on it more, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it went up faster.
Yeah, I think I was. I think it was wide open throttle more often on this one than the other one.
Mr. Truck, how did we break down the subjective score?
I have the envelope. Number 1, cabin comfort. Number 2, handling and squat. Number 3, sway as controlling the trailer. Number 4, the mirrors. Number 5 is high-tech towing, like backup cameras and brake controllers.
Okay, so should we name our scores? Who wants to go first?
Okay, now this is just a subjective one, right?
This is subjective score right now.
Okay, it's really difficult because they're so similar, right?
Yes.
All right, you go first.
I made 2 deductions. One, I deducted both of them for having small mirrors, and I deducted an extra point for the Tahoe as far as sway and overall handling with the trailer. So for the Yukon, my score is 22, and for the Tahoe, 20.
Okay, my score for the Tahoe was 21, and for the big GMC, 22. Same reasons, I just deducted a little bit differently.
The Tahoe was interesting. It actually had a little more sway, and I think it had a little better modulation on the speed. I could hold it a little easier. The Yukon, it actually felt a little better ride, and it didn't sway as much, but it was a little harder to hold the speed on it for some reason. And, you know, I love the Sexy Beast. But anyway, the Sexy Beast GMC Denali, I'm going to give it a 21. And the Tahoe, I'm going to give 20. And it'll seem like they're higher than I would like to do it on a truck, but they're great towing vehicles. I mean, that power, the 6.2, the 10-speed, the brakes, my goodness, they're good towing machines.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Blow your minds.
There we go.
Yukon XL Denali, 77 points. Okay?
Yeah.
Overall for the Ike.
Overall.
Tahoe RST, 77.5.
That beat the other one by half a point?
It must
right?
be because of the brakes.
It's the braking, it's a little bit quicker. Subjective scores prefer the Yukon, but the other stuff, the Tahoe did just a little bit better.
That's true, less brake applications.
That's right, and I'm fine with that. I like that Tahoe.
And go back to tfltruck.com and
MrTruck.com.